A very good Friday for Luton Town Football Club. We're not dead yet. We haven't locked horns with Derby since the Great Kenilworth Road robbery at the tail end of 2024. And you know what? Essentially, this was an all or nothing game. And I waited until the end of the day. Look, Leeds and Oxford, they're just about to kick off. But I don't think Oxford are going to be in it, in the mix. The relegation mix right now. So in the context of today, Derby, we beat them. That's a 6-pointer. Hull, they lost. Plymouth, they lost, but they're behind us. And I waited until the end of Sheffield United versus Cardiff just to record this because it sort of changes how this reaction would have gone. But in the context of all the teams around us losing, it's pretty excellent.
I am so pumped up!
If Oxford lose to Leeds, which I suppose they will, it puts an even better shine on it because Oxford are by no stretch out of this. However, on 48 points at time of recording before kickoff, there is a possibility they can get dragged into it. Yes, they have to meet another team at the bottom of the table, and that could change the complexion of everything, really. But right now, Luton are on 43 points. I kind of have it in my head 50 is the magic number to stay up, especially with Luton Town's goal difference. So 7 points, 3 games, 7 points. Is it doable? So on to the game today, where we travelled to Pride Park, nearly called it the baseball ground. And I have to say, Luton Town turned up in the first half. Derby turned up in the second half. It was an interesting team selection as well. So I remember when Rob Edwards played Fanny up top just after he joined us. And people were like, everyone was confused. Well, he's a defensive midfielder, so I don't quite understand. But I understand in the context of this, we needed sort of that pace and pressing presence. Wow, try saying that 100 times. Pace and pressing presence. Pace and pressing presence. Pace and pressing presence. It's a tough one. He gave us pace and pressing presence next to Colton Morris because Lord knows, I've said it enough times, Colton Morris cannot give us that anymore. However, Colton Morris did good in this game. One moment, he did good. And there was another passage of play where he did good. Essentially, we needed that person up top with Colton Morris. And people were saying, yeah, well, Millie Alley can play there. But you know what? We had Millie Alley sort of left wing back. And that was where the success came for Millie Alley. And he was great. Well, sort of in the first half, he was great. Second half faded because that was when Derby sort of were in the ascendancy. And that's fair. Like, look, going in 1-0 down at halftime, you kind of expect a team to come out and fight and attack. It was an interesting team selection because Naismith was back in. Naismith, who's just been completely out the team for a long time. And with the selection of players on there, it was kind of a talking point. Well, is this a 3-5-2? Is it a 4-3-3? I would say the closest thing would be, it was a 4-4-2. So with Bell sort of playing left back, Naismith was playing in front of the front two. I'll talk about the front two, believe me. Makoso was sort of right back, but at the same time, McGuinness was very good at getting forward. He broke forward with the ball incredibly well, but he defended like an absolute champ as well. Whoa, what a player. Worth every penny of that undisclosed amount that we paid for him that's thought to be in the region up to £10 million. And the midfield, they did a great job in the first half. They won the midfield battle, but that obviously changed. So I'd say it's probably a 4-2-3-1. Isaiah Jones pushing up, but at the same time, it became a 4-5-1 when we were defending with Isaiah Jones and Millie Ali doing the good job of going backwards as well as going forwards. I would say Millie Ali is quite suspect defensively. There was one moment in the second half where the ball it went to bounce. It just went straight under his foot, tried to trap it, control it, straight under. But hey, thank God it wasn't bad. Second half was tough. I think I recorded 1,500 steps while I was watching. I was just pacing uncontrollably. So, ball comes in for our first goal. Oh, just a quick word before I go on to our first goal. Great to see Taylan Harris on the bench. Obviously, he's there by virtue of the fact that there is no one else. I'd love Taylan Harris and Ollie Lynch on the bench, but I guess only 7, not 9, like in the Premier League. So 1 is probably enough, but I would have loved to have seen him get some minutes. However, I think at the end, we made the right change for Millie Ali and Tahith Chong, because whenever we got the ball and we wanted to break, Tahith Chong was able to run. Unfortunately, he won his fouls as opposed to when he just gets tripped over by worms on the floor and the ref doesn't call it. So he did well to buy the fouls. First goal, corner comes in, Colton Morris leaps like a salmon. He wins his header. And that is what Colton Morris is good for right now. He wins his headers. Obviously, they don't always go to the right person. It was a knock-on header to the back stick, and this is where Mark McGuinness started his man of the match performance. He won that ball at the back stick. He went through the Derby player. He was onside. He was played on by a player on the far side as well. So it wasn't, VAR would have called it A-OK as well. And he sort of slots the ball back across the face of goal. And I saw this in slow motion. I was thinking, oh my God, there's no one there. This is a hell of a ball across the face. And then you see Ali react to it first. And he's got 3 Derby players behind him. And he slots it in. I was like, yes. And the reality is we could have had 2 or 3 by half time. And Bloomfield said that in his post-match as well. It was a very balanced post-match as well. I really do like him because he talks a lot of sense. And he has no loyalties to the team. So he's not afraid of bombing players out because he's not trying to be everyone's mate. He just wants to get the job done. He wants points on the board. And it took time. 8 games until he got his first win. But it's happening now. And the ball is rolling. Little bit too late. But you know what? We will point fingers at the end of the season. So the second half, it was a storm to be weathered. It was. And it was very, very tough watching. But you know what? Who stepped up? McGuinness and Kaminsky. McGuinness made some absolutely tremendous blocks in the first half. He made one that was brilliant. It was sort of a P-roll. It was trickling in, but a completely wrong-footed Kaminsky. And McGuinness, he sort of hacked it away out wide. And it was great, but that was nothing compared to the 2 he made in the second half. The pick of them was, it was actually from that passage of play where the ball went under Millie Ali's foot and Derby worked it into the middle. They had a go. And it sort of looped over Kaminsky, but McGuinness had covered round the back. And he sort of hacked it, but he hacked it away. And it just sliced straight into Kaminsky's arms. But you know what? Right place, right time. And McGuinness just did that covering job so perfectly. It was an all-round tremendous performance from Mark McGuinness. And look, I can't lie, he's been a slow burn. You can tell he's young, 23, and the weight of the reported fee that we paid for him is obviously significant. And players like that come with an expectation. But today he was fantastic. And if that sort of performance is what keeps us up, he's worth every penny and a bit more. He was sensational. And to be honest, I see him as a future captain. If we don't get Naismith back in next year, if Colton Morris is bombed out the club, Lockyer doesn't return, McGuinness is a future captain of Luton Town Football Club. And I draw parallels to Steve Davis. And I think he even looks like Steve Davis. He does. You pull it up side by side, he looks a lot like Steve Davis.
What?
Will from Luton Facts and Figures, he thinks he looks like the kid from Freaks and Geeks. But I think he looks like Steve Davis. Right. I think it's a very positive performance. And the thing is, we need to carry that positivity into the Bristol City game. Bristol City have had, I don't want to say it was an easy game against Sunderland, but Sunderland had a player sent off like right at the beginning of the game. And then Bristol City just went on to dominate. I feel for Sunderland fans as well because they're all expecting them to storm the playoffs. And it kind of looks like they have run out of steam. I wonder who said that. I wonder. Well, I don't know who said that, but yeah, Bristol City, they're really on a roll right now and they are hell bent on getting to the playoffs. We'll call this one the Ollie K Derby. Although I did apologise because Bristol City have done very well this year and they are by no means a joke of a club. Yeah, just going to say that. But it'd be nice if Bristol City forgot to turn up on Monday. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? It's going to be a right barnstormer of a game down at Kenilworth Road. I hope we carry on that momentum because we don't do too well when games are really close to each other. But you know what? There are 3 games left. We need 7 points to get to 50 points because our goal difference is so poor. So I think 50 is the magic number. Winning all 3 would be better. It would. But you know what? Got Bristol City, got Cov, got West Brom. 3 teams gunning for the playoffs. It would be ideal if like West Brom have nothing to play for, if Cov is safe in the playoffs by then. That would be ideal because then you take your foot off the gas, you start resting players. But hey, we're Luton Town. We never do things the easy way. I've been following the club. This is my 30th year now. I've never seen Luton Town do it the easy way. Never. We actually had a discussion in the OK Football WhatsApp Discord groups. We were thinking, if we managed to get out of this, would this be better than the Great Escape in 1920? And we're kind of split on it. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments. Does this have the potential to be a greater Great Escape than that of 1920? I don't think so. I think players have dropped the ball here, but hey, that's just my thoughts. Anyway, we roll on to Monday. Remember, I think there'll be a post-match phone-in Sunday night. Don't know. I think we will do one. I'll get the thoughts from our team. OK Football. I'll see if there's appetite for one. Let me know in the comments if you do want one. Otherwise, I will do it. Why not? But remember, while you're here, hit that subscribe button for loads more Luton Town content. And most importantly, come on, you Hatters.